everybody. Welcome to InPsightRadio. I am your host, Danielle Egnew, and you are a fly on the wall to everywhere. We are barreling through our October extravaganza, and I am so excited to have back into the studio someone who you've heard on this podcast before. She's been on as an herbalist. She has been on as the owner of Vintage Apothecary. She has been on as my sister Bestie. She has been on as the production manager for Road Angel. She's even been, she's been on for lots of things. Everybody, welcome back, Melissa Scianna.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And girl, I am just throwing you clean in the hot seat this time. I'm going to throw you clean in the hot seat because, you know, if people have followed you on this podcast, they know that you are from New England.
Yes.
You are from Connecticut.
Yes.
And anybody who knows anything about the nation's history recognizes that there's a lot of ghosty, witchy weirdness out in that part of the nation.
Well, that's true.
And I mean, even when I was out there on a cruise years and years ago, we didn't go to Connecticut. We went to Salem, Massachusetts. And there was this mealy old weird museum with vignettes and mannequins of these dolls it was creepy.
I think that's the Salem Witch Museum.
Yeah, and it's creepy.
Yeah.
It's mealy. It's weird. But, you know, you could feel things in Salem. So the reason I've pulled you into the hot seat today, Melissa.
Yes.
Is because you identify as what is termed a green witch. And I am fascinated by what in the dickens a green witch even is. Now, before I have you define this, I just want to throw something out there for our listeners. You know, I am all about everybody's personal modalities. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I do what I got to do.
Right.
And you know me, and I've never really personally resonated with a lot of the earth energy arts. Mm-hmm. I'm always so high.
That's so true.
Oh my God, dude. I'm always through my crown chakra and my third eye.
Why are we even friends?
I don't even know. It's so weird. But you know, it's one of those things because you're very earth. And if people follow you on TikTok, and they can do so at...
Gosh, I think it's Melissa Scianna.
Yep, at Melissa Scianna, Scianna.
Yes.
You'll see that she covers lots of plants, teepee rings, all kinds of really cool things in her neck of the woods. So I am not somebody who really necessarily jives with earth energies, but you are. And I have friends who are Wiccan. I have friends who are they call themselves Scottish Rite witches. You are the first green witch, and I don't mean Greenwich. We're not talking Greenwich time, people. Green witch. You know, WITCH, witch. So what in the heck, sister, is a green witch? And how does it differentiate between, say, somebody who does Wiccan druid circles and all the other types of Wiccan arts out there?
Gosh, not being a Wiccan or a Scottish rites or anything, I don't know. I do know, like Wicca, the Wiccan religion. I don't even know if they call it a religion. I don't know.
The modality.
The modality is like super earth-oriented and nature-oriented. I know that, but so I can't speak to that.
So what the Wicca? I do know that Wicca is newer. As it is formatted now, it's based off a druidic practice. Yet I think it came about in the late 60s.
Okay, so also super cool and something that I need and want to learn more about. But, and when I tell you what a green witch is, honestly, this is my description of what I think a green witch is. And I am so open to everybody being what they want to be. You all call yourself whatever you want, you know, but this is how I feel I am.
I'm a spicy unicorn.
Well, see?
I feel like one.
You
spicy
are.
Unicorn lady. Okay, so and that's what I'm interested in because I've really never heard anybody. I mean, I'm sure other people have called themselves a green witch, whatever.
Sure. It's pretty popular right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what is it?
So for me, being a green witch is being very connected to the earth and particularly to the plants. I think that's where the green comes in.
Okay.
So like everything plant. I need to be around the plants. I get my healing energy from the plants and from the earth. I use plants in everything I do. It's a broad description. There's plants, like I grow plants in my yard. I need to be outside with the trees and with the plants to stay healthy.
That's true. I'm going to pause you right there because I'm going to tell on you
Go.
for just a minute. This is a true thing. Now, gang, we always say you need to go outside. You need to get out in nature. You'll feel better if you get out in nature and all the things. Melissa, who, again, she's my sister-in-law, and Melissa really does wilt like somebody picked a dandelion and didn't stick it in a Dixie cup of water. You know how fast dandelions just wilt? If you don't get outside. Now,
that's true.
I mean, it's true, though.
Yeah.
And I love being outside. I mean, I'll go nuts if I don't get outside eventually, but I'm good to like immerse myself in some tech or a music studio or whatever because I am going so up top on my crown chakra. And we all should be outside. And you've given me grief for not being outside more.
Or if I call you and I'm like, oh, I'm sad today, you're like, Melissa, will you please just go outside and hug a tree?
I do.
You actually say that. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And I'll ask you, how long has it been since you've been outside?
Yeah, just as an example, I've been sick for a while, right? And so, and then busy for a week after that. And so yesterday, for the first time in, a month or so.
Oh, dang.
I mean, like I've been really feeling crappy and not even had the energy to like walk around the block, you know?
Right.
And then, of course, feeling sort of sad along with that because I haven't been outside. So anyway, my wife and I got in the car and drove out into the mountains and did some hiking yesterday. But honestly, as soon as we got off the road near the mountains, I wasn't even out of the car yet. And I was like emotional. Everything was so beautiful. I just kept saying that. I'm so weird, but like it's so beautiful. Oh, yeah. And
geez.
it was because it had been a while, you know, which is not healthy for me at all. But I just like my soul connects to the plants, and the grass was so gorgeous and everything. Anyway, that's
your eyeballs are tearing up right now. She's retelling this story in the studio, and her eyeballs are tearing up.
It's so true.
So when you call yourself a green witch, and you're talking about how much of this earth energy you connect with, what does it feel like in your body to connect to this earth energy?
Oh, it feels just like home. Right? Aww. It feels safe and like home. And in fact, and the earth energy that I like, that's one of my healing modalities. And I don't know if that's indicative of being a green witch or not. I'd probably say not. But I feel the earth energy come up through my feet when I'm walking. And a lot of times I make a huge effort to sit on the ground when I'm out there, sit on a rock, and just absorb that sort of grounding energy from the earth. But the thing about my person is that energy stays in my body. So when I'm doing healing work for people, I do energy work and Reiki. I think that's something that is maybe not unique to me, but not all people that do Reiki use that.
Wow.
I can feel the energy from my feet coming up through me from the earth and out my hands.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So in contrast, if I go up to the earth, I can feel the earth. I feel the trees. I feel it all through my heart chakra. I feel it through, I will make myself sit on a rock or lay down. So my root chakra is touching the rock because that's how ridiculous I am. And I literally have to have my butt on the rock so I can feel the rock energy. My palms on the rock. And I will listen to the rock talk. And rocks have consciousness, as you know.
Yes.
And I will listen to that thing tell me all the stories of everything it's seen and what the earth used to be like. And I get chatty with this stuff, but there is no way that I'm storing it like a battery. I mean, I don't think I am. Maybe I am. I doubt it. I think I'm discharging all of the particular energies that I pick up all the time,
Sure.
I think I'm discharging them into the earth. But I don't, I discharge into the earth. I don't charge from the earth. You
Interesting.
charge from the earth.
I guess I do. And can I just say that as ridiculous as that may feel, best healing practice for everyone is
Sitting on a rock?
Oh, heck yeah.
It's my
Heck
favorite.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I love about sitting on a rock?
What?
Is that it's super supportive. Like I can feel God. I can feel the earth. I can feel the antiquity of all things. That rock will tell me stories about when it was under the ocean. It will talk to me about looking at dinosaurs crossing over or how big they were. Or sometimes what we think is the very top of a mountain or on a mountaintop, it used to be even higher than it was at some times and that's collapsed. Or it was lower than it was and raised up. So for me, it's always a damn conversation.
Well, can I just say that this is why I love to go hiking with you?
I'm the one sitting on the rock. She's the one charging up.
Right? Even if the rocks don't talk to you, it's best healing practice because of the vibration of the earth. Right? That our bodies, this is diverting a little bit from the Green Witch topic, but it's important. Our bodies were built to resonate on the same vibration that the earth resonates. And I've heard you talk about this before.
Yes.
This is not news, but
it's called the Schumann resonance. 7.83 hertz. The brain is maximized at that vibration or that frequency level.
so if you think about before modern times when people were running around with leather on their feet and there were no roads, there was no concrete, they were touching the earth all the time, which is exactly how we've evolved to live. But now in modern times, just recently, we have rubber on the soles of our shoes.
Which actually dissuades electromagnetic energy
Yeah.
from reaching you. That's why we wrap our electrical wires in rubber. Hello.
Same with concrete.
Yeah.
Like all those things that are separating us from the earth. So I've seen amazing healing in my practice with people that just go out and take their shoes off and put their bare feet on the ground for 15 minutes a day.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, you having the Green Witch modality, what makes, is the green part about plants or is it more than that?
Well, I think technically I would say that the green part is about plants, although for me it's about, how can you separate the earth from the plants?
I don't know.
Right? With the trees' roots down in the earth. So I think it's all connected. But every plant has a consciousness. Like you were talking about the consciousness of the rock.
Oh, yeah.
So every plant has a consciousness, an energy, has specific things that plant brings to us as like an ally that can heal us, that can heal us mind, body, and spirit, whatever our body is looking for. So I think like really being a green witch is more about understanding the energetics of each particular plant and then also knowing how to use it,
So do you feel like being a green witch, do you do, this is going to sound like an ignorant question. I'm going to be an ignorant white girl right now with a Judeo-Christian background and ask you an ignorant question, but I honestly don't know. So as a green witch, do you feel like you use some of this earth energy? Do you do incantations? Do you do potions? How do you throw that earth energy through your green modality?
Well, like potions. Okay, so yeah, you can call it a potion. If you take herbs and you make something out of the herbs that is useful on the body, if I make it with herbs and alcohol, it's a tincture. But maybe somebody could call it a potion. If I make an oil for the outside of to use on the outside of your body with herbs, we would call that an infused oil. But we could also call it a potion. I make mulled wine with herbs and spices. That sure sounds like a potion because each one of those spices and herbs that I put in there, I put in with intention. Oh. Right?
And can I just say, Melissa's going to be a guest on our upcoming special edition ghost hunting podcast, which is amazing. It's a special long format. And what we served to everybody in that ghost experience in Bridger, Montana, was her custom-made Green Witch mulled wine spices. And that was something that we gave our guests as a complimentary thank you for attending.
Yes.
Is you could have a cup full of mulled wine, to go on your hunt with. And it was just, it's Montana. As long as you're not selling it, it's cool. It's a hosted event.
It's true.
But really, I mean, people bought it. People bought it from you, the actual spices, because it was so yummy.
Yeah. And it's funny because we did that similar ghost experience a couple years ago and did the mulled wine.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, the spice blend changes every time I make a batch of it, just because it's so, I love to let go in my practice and really be intuitive.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is allowing the universe allowing me to help give people what they need, right? So today, you might need a particular thing and it might work really well for you. Let's say I make you some mulled wine and you're like, oh my God, that was delicious. And it really opened up my heart chakra and made me feel safe. And then next week you might ask for the same thing and I may have run out of it. So I remake it for you and it might be slightly different because maybe this week you need something slightly different than you needed last week.
So it's more medicinal. It's more, I shouldn't use the word medicinal. It's prescriptive almost. Is it purposely prescriptive, or does the universe just sort of accidentally create these concoctions, or do you work with the universe in that way?
I work with the universe, but I create a space to allow the universe to work.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, my intention is always for what the person needs and I mean, you have a base knowledge, right? It's not like you just throw some poison ivy in a cup and be like, here, this is what you need.
So you're talking about the Green Witch, you do have a base knowledge of what you're getting.
Right. You kind of need to go in with the base knowledge. But.
You do. I'd like to throw this in here too for people. Because I mean, you've done so many different things and you organize. I mean, you are an events coordinator. You are the production manager for Road Angel. You managed my Ascension tour in several different states. I mean, you do a lot of things.
It's always funny when someone asks me what I'm doing these days. I'm like, how long do you have?
I don't know. What do you need?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's in this regard, you do have a degree in horticulture.
I do.
And it's from the University of
Connecticut.
Okay. And you have an herbalist background and you've been doing this a real long time.
I've been doing it my whole life. So when people, honestly, when I was a little girl growing up in Connecticut, I spent every day in the summertime, going out, filling a bucket with random berries and cutting things up and stirring them up and making weird potions. And not that anybody ever drank those, but but it was a learning experience. It's what is in your soul. I mean, I'm sure I've done this in other lifetimes.
Oh God, yes.
Mm-hmm. So I was born wanting to be in the woods and it's not just about picking random berries. Since I was a little girl, it's about getting to know the individual plants and developing a relationship with each plant.
Do they talk to you? Can you hear them? Or do you feel them? Or how do you mojo
I'm not
them?
really not clairaudient. I don't really hear things. I just understand things and know things.
That's clairsentience.
Yes, I have that.
And you do have that. I've watched that crap happen in real time in different areas of our friendship. But okay, so clairsentience, and you're a huge empath too. So as a Green Witch, do you think it's important to have a sense of a gift of empathy, or do you think that matters as much as knowledge?
If you want to be a healer, which I think would probably define a Green Witch, I don't know. It would be interesting to know if there's people that consider themselves Green Witches that are not healers. I don't really know what the purpose would be if you're not going to be a healer, but
maybe they like the color green.
Maybe.
I don't know.
The gift of empathy for me is essential in being a healer and understanding. Sometimes with my clients, I can physically feel in my body what their body is feeling. So it really helps. That helps me so much in understanding what they need. That's such an interesting question because I also think that just being open, though, there's another part. There's the gift of empathy and understanding what someone needs. And then there's also letting yourself be sort of a vessel to what the universe is giving you to give to someone. And I think that's what happens when, like if somebody comes to me and, here's an example of just the way the universe works. So if somebody comes to me and says, like everybody, there's so many people out in the world that have heart chakra issues that might be related to their upbringing or something that, or like a lot of times it's a mother issue. I've seen a lot of that this year. Like God bless the mothers. I'm not saying,
right.
I'm just saying
like pain, abuse, neglect, something like that.
It could be that. It could be that, or sometimes, well, let's just say in this particular case, it was that.
Okay.
And so I go, I'm thinking about this client, and I go out in the field behind my house. It's a Saturday. So we have this meadow behind our house, and I go out there just to like walk the dog back there, right? And we have this irrigation ditch, and I'm walking along the irrigation ditch, and I'm noticing these plants there that I hadn't seen before.
Which, by the way, you guys, it's really important to note that this woman can call a plant from 50 yards. She will be walking along, and my wife and I will be holding hands and dinking around, and we're hiking around with Melissa and Sarah, her wife, and dinking around, and all of a sudden Melissa will go, "Ow!" and then run up like 30 yards ahead, and there's like one leaf like barely flailing out of the dust in the Prior Mountains. And she says, here is the Latin name of this thing. And it's a this and a this, and it does this and a this, and it doesn't even hardly grow here. So this must be a fairy ring.
That's so true, though.
It happens. And I'm like, dude, how did you even see that? I mean, like, it's a tiny leaf. So anyway, yes, continue.
Anyway, well, I recognized what this plant was. It's just that I had never seen it there before. And what it was this plant called motherwort. And it was growing with some wild mint, which I thought was really interesting. So motherwort supports the heart chakra in all aspects of mothering. So it would heal abusive situations, neglectful situations. It would also provide assistance to the heart chakra in like loss of a child, or like some
like mothery strength in a hard situation.
Like all the mothery things. It does all the mothery things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so the mint just wanted to be with it. They were just together, and they wanted to be together. So I picked them both, and I actually tinctured them and made an infused oil with them. And so I was thinking about that particular client, but since that time, I mean, it's like healing comes in themes. And
I noticed that. Readings come in themes, too.
Yes. Well, that's healing, too.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. And so I've used a lot of that motherwort. And it can be so like when you're using plants, we all think like you got to make a tea. There's certain ways you have to use them. Sometimes a client that I just had, I wanted to share the motherwort with her. And she was like, "Oh, I have digestive issues. I don't really want to ingest anything. Not sure I want the oil." I'm like, you can take a stem of it and put it next to your bed when you're sleeping.
So it can vibrationally work.
It's energetic.
Oh, yeah, weird. Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. Is that why you were handing me plants on the Ascension tour?
Yes.
I thought they smelled good.
Well, they do. But no, the universe. Oh, and even just the other day, I gave you one.
Yeah.
The universe like puts these things in front of me intentional. It's like an intentional thing. It feels like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But you can feel the intention. So that would go back to the Green Witch category.
Yeah.
I'm somebody, well, I think so, because I'm somebody that feels all kinds of vibrations. I talk to rocks, I talk to trees, I talk to plants. I ask sage if I can take a little piece. It tells me, no, not this piece, that piece.
Yes.
It'll tell you, don't touch that, take that one. I mean, I hear them if I'm specifically talking to them. And once in a while, something will yell out at me, but it's in a bigger purpose. It's because I do so much translation of messages. It's like the whole earth talks to you in crazy ways. And Rebecca, my wife, is somewhat, I mean, she's not a green witch. She doesn't get down into the plants like you do, yet the earth is super important for her.
Yes.
To be able, she's a huge introvert, and to be able to just feel that earth
I love
is
Rebecca.
massive. Oh, me
I mean,
too.
just because she's my sister, but.
Well,
yes, I love her.
she's just fabulous. She's fabulous.
She is fabulous, and we vibe on the same thing. Yeah.
You guys are totally vibing out on the earth thing. So, okay, so let me ask you this. You know, 'tis the season, it's Halloween. How do you respond to the word witch in general? Are you comfortable with the word witch? Does it have a negative connotation for you? Now, I'm going to set this up a little bit because I've got some friends who almost defiantly own the word witch. Like they'll throw it right in somebody's face, and they'll kind of lean forward with, fear me, I could hex you or whatever. And I think that it's like the word Christian. Some people hear the word Christian and they're like, oh my God, bigot. Some people hear the word Christian and they're like, oh my gosh, my grandma. It just depends on their background. People hear the word witch and they could think, ooh, really outside the box earth practitioner. Or they could think, ooh, person who's going to hex me with a spell or a really freaky energy blast. So how do you personally embody, especially during our Halloween time, the word witch?
There's so many answers to that question. So for the longest time that bothered me, and I avoided the word witch, and I actually avoided even the word magic.
Oh.
And then I'm getting old and I really don't care what people think.
You're not that old, but yes, I hear you.
I'm mature enough for that not to be an issue. I think that, heck, if I wanted, like that hex stuff, you can throw negative energy at people. It's all about intention. Magic is all about intention. I choose not to use that sort of thing at all. Like all my intention is of love. And I would say most of the people that I know and work with that call themselves green witches are the same.
So so I'm going to draw a picture for those of you who may not be earth equivalent. Okay, in your energy cycle. So I want you to think about Lord of the Rings. Okay, and I want you to think about the green witches. And the green witches, they look like fairies, those real fabulous fairies in the woods that were dating Viggo Mortensen, and they've got these green
I missed that one.
Oh.
I missed the dating.
I
didn't. I saw the
You
movie.
missed out on Viggo. Yeah. so there's think of them in their green tunics with their tonics full of special mushroom juice and things that bring you back to life and heal your wounds and take away the ills of the world. They're not going to be the dark witches that you find as you crawl back into the haunted forest of Mordor, who live in the caverns of the hills, who come out only and they eat the faces off of babies or some terrible thing, and they come out to hex the world. Now, I really don't know any witches that are like that live in Mordor, to be honest with you.
No.
But I mean, and I'm being ridiculous because, it is Halloween time. However, for you as a green witch, this is about throwing healing.
Right. And for me, and I'm not saying that it's you, I'm sure there's people out there that know how to use plants for things that, I know how. I just choose not to, for things that aren't so positive. Right?
Yes.
But I choose to only use it for positive. And I don't think that has anything. You can call that a witch, or you can call that just, like a bad person.
The person who would use it to hurt people?
Yeah.
And if anybody's out there curious about the energetic arts through earth elements, honestly, whenever you throw crap energy, it's a big boomerang is what it is. It may whack somebody upside the head that you're trying to whack it up with, but then by the time it catches the momentum from swinging back around, it's going to take the top of your head clean off. Throwing nasty energy it's just not something anybody should do. And it hurts the thrower way more than it hurts the person who's throwing it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Hurts the thrower
more than it hurts the receiver.
That's what I'm trying to say. That got weird. But yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. So I don't even remember what your original question was.
My original question was, so it's Halloween time. How do you deal with the witch stigma?
So I don't really feel that there's a negative stigma. And I think that over the last several years, especially with social media and stuff, the term of witch and green witch or earth witch or, those kind of things is becoming more acceptable as people just begin identifying with the ability to recognize energy and things that are of the earth and use it for good.
Yes, and you do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I wanted to ask you about this, because I've been noticing with someone who has as many varied aptitudes as you do, and you have a ton of them. I mean, you've got corporate experience, you have herbalist experience, all the things. So I found it interesting that you related. You've kind of settled, you've gone through some, you've settled on Green Witch right now. And I've watched you go through, and I say right now because,
oh my God, I cannot settle. So
it's important to tell everybody that Melissa is an Aquarius. And I don't think you guys are supposed to settle. I think you're supposed to do what you do to help humanity or help people until the next thing comes along and you have threads. You have threads in what you do.
Yeah.
Yet the application for what you do is going to change.
That's very true.
So here's another Green Witch question.
Okay.
So if, say, I'm an herbalist and say I make tinctures and say I hear plants, would you say that the energy of the plants changes with the seasons? And I'm asking you this specifically because we're coming right on Halloween. And we are on this thin ether time frame. Does that affect the energy of the plants?
Yeah. So the energy of the plants definitely changes with the seasons. And what's interesting is that the earth gives us, this is why plants and earth are so connected. The earth gives us the plants that we need for the health issues of the season that we're in. So
if it's fall cold season, you get plants that'll help fall colds.
Or you might find those plants just before fall is coming.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much a thing. Like in the spring, we have, for instance, in the spring, we're coming out of winter. Our body's a little stagnant. We need, something to kind of get things flowing in our body. And there's nettle growing everywhere because everyone would benefit from drinking a nettle infusion in the springtime.
See, I think of nettles. I got to tell you. Did you ever see the cartoon character Salad Fingers?
No, but I'd like to.
It's flat out
Salad
disturbing,
fingers.
man.
I love salad.
It's called Salad Fingers. And this is character, and he talks like this, and he looks like a golem with funny flappy fingers, and he's really weird. And he takes nettles and he rubs them on his body because he likes the stinging. I think of Salad Fingers. I think of stinging nettles. I think of how would
it
you
is
drink?
Stinging at nettles, though. It's the same thing. So
Don't
be rubbing it on your body. Make a tea with it.
How do you pick it even?
Well, you know what? You very carefully are with gloves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please describe that a little bit before everybody runs out and becomes Salad Fingers and just whacks up a nettle thing. And please a little bit.
Well, there's a great herbalist I follow on Instagram, and she's on TikTok too. I can't even remember her name, but her byline is "Just don't die." She'll tell you, she'll identify all these folks. Just don't die.
Oh my God.
She'll identify all these. Gosh, I wish I could remember her name.
She's hilarious. We'll talk about setting your bar fairly low. Just don't
right?
die.
Just don't die.
Freaking
She's
die.
amazing, and she tells you all these great things.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but just don't die. In New England, we called it 7-minute itch, and the reason is because nettle has these little hair-like spines on it that if you grab it around the stem and on the leaves, on the backs of the leaves too a little bit, if you grab the stem, those little spines get in you. And they hurt for a few minutes and then they itch for a few minutes. And 7-minute itch, 7 minutes, So we pick it with gloves on and then we make a long infusion with it. So we pour hot water over it and let it sit overnight and then drink it the next day.
So, okay. So you pour water over it and it steeps everything like a tea, even the crispy little nettle parts?
Mostly the leaves, but like in the springtime, right? Everything is pretty soft and fleshy, you know, and you pour hot water over it. There's so many ways to use herbs, and that's just one way that works really good with nettle, would be that you'd pour hot water over it and just let it sit overnight and then drink it the next day.
Oh my God. Well, okay, and I gotta get, like, I always feel like, and this is irrational, this is why you're the Green Witch and I am the lady who talks to a rock, is that I would feel like if I poured the water over the nettle, even though I've seen nettle tea in stores, I would feel like I was drinking those little prickles. But that doesn't happen, right?
In fact, in some cultures, they actually put nettle in soup.
The prickly part?
I want to say that's a Norwegian thing. Yeah. I mean,
would
like the leaves and stuff. I mean, the prickles are babies. So once you cook them, it's fine.
Oh my God. This is why Vikings are tough. They swallow nettles. What the hell? Okay, I'm sorry. We haven't even hit our Halloween podcast yet, and I'm scared.
Isn't it weird that she trusts me with my herbal stuff?
Well, yeah. I do, because I'm not going to go grab that nettle, because this is what I think of nettles. I want to introduce you to my friend, my dear, scary friend, my sweet little scary friend here, salad fingers, okay? This is what I think of when I think of nettles. And yeah, the music, yeah.
Hello. Today, I've been enjoying the pleasures of nettles.
He's got bloody hands and he's petting the nettles. Okay? So there you go. That's what I think of that. That's what I think of it.
That doesn't seem like healthy children's television.
Well, you know Kristen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so everybody...
Okay, it already explains it.
Let me catch up our listeners. So, a dear sister friend of mine, Kristen Coiner, you will know her as the drummer in Pope Jane. Yes, that Kristen. Has a very dark sense of humor. Kristen's super, super smart and is sat back there behind the drums for 10 years with Pope Jane. And she introduced me to this twisted wacko named Salad Fingers, which it's this British cartoon, and he's petting the nettles and he's got bloody fingers, and I'm like, oh my God, Kristen. And then I couldn't stop watching it because it's so disturbing.
No, I want you to text that to me.
No, I'm seeing it's weird.
I told you. Hello.
I love it.
I like to introduce you to my friend Nettles.
He sounds like that. I know. Look, so anyway, that's what I think of when I think of nettles. So I will try to evolve my mind past Salad Fingers' welted bloody hands when I think of nettles. Do they help respiratory by chance? Do they help lungs or anything?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't say that they like that. Probably wouldn't be the first thing I'd choose, but nettles is like your go-to though for all over body health.
God, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What are the flowers? You gave me some. They look like black-eyed Susans, and they have great big leaves and they're furry. And
mullein,
that helps your lungs. I love mullein.
Mullein
man.
is great. Mullein is so good for your lungs. Some people smoke it.
What?
And even the smoke from mullein is actually beneficial to your lungs.
No way. Mm-hmm. All right, so I do drink mullein tea, and it does have cilia on it.
I am actually allergic to that.
What?
So isn't that weird? Yeah, not very many people are, but a few people, those little hairs when the mullein is dry get into the air, and I'm super allergic to it.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. That's actually, I've used mullein tea to clear out my chest when I have had walking pneumonia, and I used to tour with Pope Jane. I've drank mullein. My friend Roy, Roy Pack,
yeah.
he was the one who introduced me to the mullein years ago. It was growing on the side of the hill. Roy's a dear friend of mine. He and I used to own Tin Star Records together. He's just a cool dude. And he literally came in with a bag of these leaves. And I said, that looks disgusting. It has weird little hairs on it. He's like, just shut up and drink it. And I did. Yes. And it really helped.
Yes.
With honey in it.
It's great. It's the lung thing.
Now I got like crispies in my chest.
And it's everywhere.
It is everywhere. It's amazing. Okay. So as a green witch, I know that in some Wiccan, now you're not Wiccan.
No.
We're talking Green Witch. I have my very dear friend, Todd.
Yeah, I love Todd.
Todd's so amazing. And Todd Kent's, and he is a Wiccan high priest, like an actual high priest who's gone through all the rites, all the ritual. He's tried to train people up on the ritual. I mean, talk about a past life thing for Todd. And he's amazing. Like, and he also makes chainmail, you guys.
He's so cool.
He's freaking cool. So Todd has a very different, in my opinion, Wiccan modality than would be although he might train people to be a priest or priestess, and they might call themselves a witch. Yet I've never seen you with a chalice. I've never seen you with a ceremonial knife. I've never seen you do the 4 directions in the way that Todd would do them, for his rituals and whatnot. So how do you feel do you feel like the word witch just is so broad that it doesn't matter how people use it?
I am so not a label person. So
That's
it's like,
true.
it's so hard. Yeah. So let me ask you, if somebody is a Wiccan, practices the Wiccan religion, do they consider themselves a witch? Is that another name for a Wiccan person?
Some of my Wiccan friends call themselves witches. Others call themselves Wiccans.
So
Some of my Christian friends call themselves Christians. Some of them call themselves spiritual.
honestly, that's why it like labels. Ugh.
And we're not talking the furry shoe.
It people should just call themselves what they want to.
Okay.
So I don't know. I am what I am. And sometimes calling myself a green witch helps people understand what I am.
Do you think that coming from the East Coast has affected your choice of association in terms of terminology? Because, I mean, witches are a thing out there, man, and they're a different thing than they are in the West. Like there's witches' ball. I was going to say witches' balls, and that sounds bad. You got those witches, those East Coast witches' balls hanging all over the place. Those balls hang low. Those balls break in the wind, those witch balls. Would you please explain to everybody what the hell I'm talking about?
So we have one in our house. I think I gave one to you too.
Yes.
So it's a glass ball, and we have them in New England. I think they were popular since the colonial times. And it's a glass ball that's been blown that has like thread filaments of glass inside the ball. And the idea is that it's distracting to actual witches, like witches as in Salem witch trials, the bad witch,
like the Bell
that
Witch.
made up thing that people call a witch. Yeah.
Well, and we got to talk about the Bell Witch too, coming up here, talking about witches and elementals and how do they get confused as witches.
Right. So witch is just a term that people use to label different things. So it used to be like back in colonial days, 1600s, Spanish Inquisition, even further, which was such a bad thing. But a lot of times those people that they called witches were herbalists.
They were healers.
And healers, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, everybody knows that now. But I think that the term witch is more and more and more becoming an acceptable healing term or earth magic term or even earth religion. And maybe it's Wiccan.
Well, okay. And so if you hear, the witch ball.
Oh, right. I digress.
No, that's okay. I kind of kicked that train right off the track there. So the witch's balls.
Right.
What is it? So it has little filaments of glass in a glass ball. And what is its purpose?
So the traditional purpose, I think, is to it's distracting. And so the idea is that it distracts that negative energy or witch, and the witch gets caught up inside of it and can't get into your house and bother you.
Okay, so it's kind of like
it's like a safety
witch,
protection thing.
It's a little witch trap, and to fling around, and eventually, can you take it outside and shake it out and let the witch out, or does it just stay in the
I just
witch
leave
ball?
that in there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, don't mess with that.
All right, you don't want to mess with it.
No.
So I was talking about the Blair Witch earlier, and
Yes.
now it's interesting because the Eastern Seaboard is an exceptionally haunted place. There
Yes.
are massive vortexes, lots of iron-based granite. Iron is a huge electromagnetic semiconductor, lots and lots of weird triangles, the Bennington Triangle is out there. And that I think goes from, it's like New Jersey and Connecticut, and it goes all through these areas, New York. And that's where you have lots of, like this Bell Witch I'm going to talk about, although it's in Tennessee. But they have these witches in the forest. They have Jersey devils in the forest, elementals, demons, all kinds of things that they talk about.
Plus, the history in New England is so old, and there's been people there for so much longer than in the Western United States that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like that energy is so much more focused. So if it, like coming from New England, which I just did this summer.
Oh, yeah.
Back to Montana.
Yep.
It's like, I love New England and I love the way it feels.
Oh, yeah. You grew up there.
But coming back to Montana, it's almost like this breath of fresh air because you're stepping away from all that elemental. I mean, it's bigger
energy
here
too.
And it's more open here. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay, so when we're talking about creepy things in the woods, not only are there a lot more people, not only are there tons of vortexes that are naturally occurring because of the limestone caves, the types of granite, all of the underground water sources. The Atlantic is a big churning ghost factory. I mean, it's insane. On top of that, you've got these stories, and we're still talking Eastern Seaboard, okay? So the Bell Witch is in Tennessee, and that goes all the way back to a lore in 1817, and a family was out there, and they had 300 and some odd acres, and everything was fine until they started seeing really weird things, like lots of strange, demented-looking animals and deformed animals started coming around. They were hearing weird sounds out in the woods, and then pretty soon the sound started coming into the house, and they started hearing weird sounds in the house, and it sounded like a rat, like gnawing on the bedpost, and they would hear odd metal clanking, and it sounded like somebody was dragging chains behind the house. So it's kind of like they settled this land, they cleared the land, they started seeing these weird animals staring at them, and then it came closer and closer and closer in. So basically, everybody started coming around to this family's house to hear all this weird stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
And they talk about it being a witch in the woods, okay? And this, the long story, it's a very long story, short, is that the spirit that was out there, they basically gave it a name. And they called this witch or this spirit or this unseen nature ghost, they called it Kate. And so basically, they call it the Bell Witch because it was the Bells who owned this land, okay? So, and basically it seemed that this ghost Kate, right, had two reasons for visiting this homestead. And one of them was to kill John Bell, the dad, because he had leveled all these trees.
Oh.
And elementals don't like the
that's
destruction.
an elemental then, right?
Right. And it's really creepy because they cleared it out, right? And so they think that was a reason. They think that was the first reason. And the second reason, supposedly, that this witch named Kate out in the Tennessee woods was going to torment this family was to kill the youngest daughter, Betsy, because this ghost wanted to marry a neighbor boy. Now, who even knows if this is correct? But this was such a persisting weird thing that this witch who wanted the neighbor boy, that people would come in from all over just to experience the paranormal activity, which I highly think was probably a lot of elemental activity. In that part in Tennessee, there is a Bell Witch cave, and it's limestone. And limestone conducts a ton of paranormal activity. So anyway, it goes on and on and on. But they basically decided that there is this Blair Witch. And the Blair Witch, not the Bell Witch, the Blair Witch movie is a spinoff on the Bell Witch myth. Okay?
That was a scary movie, though.
That was messed up. So people go to that Bell Witch cave and still experience weird stuff there. So do you think that human beings have mistaken, and that's a real thing in Tennessee, do you think that people mistake elementals who would be shapeshifters, and we've got those same shape-shifting elementals up in the Bighorn Canyon here in Montana.
And in the Pryors. And
in the Pryors.
In my backyard.
Yeah, and in your backyard.
Yeah.
Do you think that a lot of people mistake mad elementals as angry witches that come to eat people's faces off?
Sure. I think over the years and throughout history, which has been a convenient word to use for unexplainable sort of scary things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm fascinated by what we call witches. I mean, you knew I had to bring the Bell Witch in.
Yeah.
It's Halloween. Okay. Because honestly, the Bell Witch was such a prevalent tale, and so many people encountered that kind of spooky stuff out there. People even talked about this entity, Kate, this being actually showing up as a woman, and showing up the last time everybody saw it was in 1828. And it came to John Bell and was telling it predictions of the future and all these things that were going to happen. And the future predictions that the Bell Witch put out there were super scary, but they're all kind of coming true right now. So, I mean, it's after her last visit to them, which was in 1828. She basically told everybody that her next visit would be in 107 years. And that would have been like in 1935-ish, okay? But there's a lot of people that believe that this witch named Kate really never did leave the area because there's still strange things going on. And there's books written about the Bell Witch of Tennessee. I mean, the legend of the Bell Witch is part of Tennessee history. It's so huge. And it's still taught in grade schools.
Well, that's cool.
So did you ever encounter any of that in New England?
Oh, man. If the Bell Witch is indeed an elemental, I mean, yeah, New England there's everything. There's elementals. There's like angry spirits. There's lots of energy, like energy signatures from events.
Did you guys ever have a local, like the Bell Witch Cave, the Bell Witch? Did you ever have a local witch that you guys learned about in school?
No, heck, but like every other kid had a witch living in their house, or I mean, a ghost living in their house.
Well, you didn't have witches because you had the witch balls.
Yeah, and yes, I mean, all that is part of our history and culture and tradition. And like the month of October is like Christmas for us, but it lasts 31 days.
It's Christmas for New Englanders?
Oh man, it's our favorite time of year. It's a whole month long.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not just the week up to Halloween hanging a skeleton in the window.
No, it starts October 1st. And like the 31st is the culmination. I digress, but I'm just saying, like, New England is so full of all the things. No, we did not. We had lots of legends.
Okay.
That we talked about in school. Most of them were ghosty. However, like my personal experience has been that there are like scary places. And I don't know if that's like a place signature. I don't know.
I think it's vortex oriented. I mean, that Bennington Triangle out there, that's a geomagnetic feature. That's what I was on Discovery Plus and Travel Channel talking about. I mean, you can watch that right now if you dial up American Mysteries. I'm on there talking about the Bennington Triangle and all the weird stuff in there. And it is a geomagnetic issue.
I mean, we kind of understand the woods are dark and dense. Even in Connecticut, where things are fairly developed, there's still big pockets of dark, dense woods. We kind of know that things live in there. They're probably elementals. We also know that like there's been settlements all around where weird stuff happened. I mean, listen, this was the time of the Salem witch trials. Yeah. That stuff happened all over the place, except not just on the scale that it did in Salem. And we just know stuff is out there.
Yeah.
So like to identify it in particular as a witch, not so much a part of our New England tradition, but I'm sure in the history of the area, people have identified certain occurrences as witches.
They have to.
There's just like, and there's the energy of spaces where you know something weird has happened. Like there's certain spots that my kids won't even like get in the car if I'm going to drive on that road.
Are you kidding?
No.
You have teenagers and 20-year-olds.
Actually right near where I grew up. So I'm like, let's go for a ride. And they're like, no, not if you're going to go down that road, Mom, because I know you are. You love to go down that road. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like to see your reaction when I go down that road. But they're like, no, I'm not getting in the car.
Well, and human beings are naturally opposed to wrinkles in space-time. We naturally want to stay out of vortex areas. It is uncomfortable for us. It feels weird. It gives us the creeps. There can be higher electromagnetic frequency indexes in vortexes. Higher, wow, say that 10 times real fast. And there can, when you have a lot of EMF, part of that EMF saturation can feel like you're being watched. So I think in those woods you are being watched. That's messed up.
Yeah, and to like wrap that around like that weird space energy to the whole witch thing.
Yes.
Because weird things have happened in those areas.
Right.
So like it's a combination of, and it's probably the same way with the not the Blair Witch, but the Bell Witch.
The Bell Witch.
It's probably the same with the Bell Witch. They're in this like vortexy space that makes it easier to feel weird stuff that maybe the elementals are using to travel from here to there. Who knows? You can correct that if I don't know.
No, but that's what they do.
But
that's
I mean,
exactly
like,
what they
that's,
do.
And it seems the vortexy space like that seems to retain and maybe even attract like weird experiences, negative experiences. And those like people, this one spot that's off this road I'm talking about, I've been in that space and felt like I was being watched, felt like there was impending danger, which I think is a memory.
That very much could be a memory. And just as a sidebar, when human beings come up onto a vortex, the elementals that are there throw us energy to make us feel afraid because the human body in a vortex doesn't respond well. It's not good for a human body. And those elementals come up and they throw a bunch of really creepy energy at us, hoping that we back off and leave. And human beings are giant energy receptors, right? So we'll feel that and we'll be like, oh my God, I got to go. But maybe it is, I'm sure it could also, in addition to that, be a past life.
So this, I'm just remembering because I was back this summer and we were talking about this because it's within walking distance of my parents' home where I grew up. And so it's this one street, it's called 11th Section Road. And we were talking about on this maybe a mile stretch, probably not even a full mile. No, I could jog from one end to the other. It's not a mile. Of all the weird things that have happened, everything from me having weird feelings to like somebody getting shot with a drug deal or something, to a house burned down a couple of years ago and people died in the house fire.
God.
To I was just talking to my dad about this legend that there's a train track nearby that a train actually went off the track and wrecked right on that street too, right off that street. And everybody died except a tiny baby. And there's this legend that they didn't know who the baby belonged to. It was way, way, way a long time ago. And so they buried it in this unmarked grave. So growing up,
I thought it lived.
The baby died. But the legend was that you're right. The baby died, and there was nobody claimed it. No, there was like no parents.
Oh wow!
To want to take its body, so they buried it right around there somewhere in this unmarked grave. That its children, we're always looking for the grave. We're like, oh, we knew the legend, and we wanted to figure out where this is. I know it's kind of gross, but
no, but that's what kids do.
Yeah.
Let's go find the dead baby bones.
But like all those things happened on this stretch of road.
It doesn't. Okay, I'm looking into this stretch of road, and I'm looking at it psychically, and it doesn't feel. Why does it feel so? I don't think it's rural, but why does it feel so wooded?
It's very wooded.
Okay,
yeah.
Because I'm looking at it, and it's like weird and canopy, like tree canopies.
Oh yeah.
Coming over the street with little dapples of where the light comes through.
It's very dark.
Weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you'd think this would be near a city, but it's not really. It's
not.
just this cut through. It's like a cut
No, I
through.
grew up very rurally. It's
my
very
God.
rural.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See,
so there's probably like the house that burned down plus 3 or 4 other houses on that mile stretch.
Oh my God, that's so messed up. Well, no wonder you guys have witch balls hanging
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yes.
I like witch balls.
They keep you safe.
They keep you safe.
Frickin' salad fingers. Well, Melissa, so Green Witch, you're owning it. It's what you are. It's part of some heritage from your area, even if you don't identify that with your area. Mm-hmm. You know, it is part of that. What would you leave, because we're about on our time for our podcast, what would you leave our audience who has been identifying with your plant energies, with being a healer, with maybe throwing good energy out there, making tinctures, whatnot? How would you direct a budding Green Witch out there to begin some very responsible training in this area to bolster his or her or their knowledge?
The easiest thing that you can do is it's the same as developing any psychic gift, is sit with the plants. It's like go sit with a plant, be with a plant, and pay attention to what you're hearing in your head. Pay attention to how it makes your body feel. Pay attention to like what you feel in your heart, because those are all things, like the plant is going to give that to you. We're just taught not to pay attention to it. So just start being still with a plant and paying attention to how it makes you feel. First of all, I mean, this isn't pretty good. There's no mystery to this work. Anyone can do it. That's why the universe put all those plants all around us, and everybody should be doing it.
I like how she says anybody can do it. Says the woman who can find a teeny tiny leaf at 30 yards in the dust. I'm like, well, see, I think that's your gift. And I think it's the gift of people who are wired like you.
True.
So I hope if there's any budding Green Witches out there, Melissa, how can people get a hold of you if they have any questions? I mean, you've been doing all kinds of stuff on TikTok, but how can people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me. Best way to get a hold of me is to text me at 406-850-3287 or call me at that number. You can message me on Vintage Apothecary on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram, and I think it's Melissa Scianna --Vintage Apothecary.
And you're on TikTok too. Let's not forget that.
Yes. And I think it's just Melissa Scianna on there.
Yeah, you have some really cool TikTok stuff. I'm getting into the TikTok thing. It's fun. I haven't done anything for a minute, but it's been fun.
I also have a website.
Yeah, you do.
It's vintageapothecaryshop.com. Which I'm going to redo that website, but you can go on there and kind of get a general idea of a lot of the very many things that I do.
That's true.
So it's just before we go, one of the most important things for me is to educate, help people learn about the earth and what the earth and the plants can do for us. And I feel like that helps to develop a degree of respect for this planet. And I honestly feel like that sort of education and that really learning to commune with the earth is what can save the planet.
Amen, sister. I believe that's true. Listen to the earth. The earth listens to us. We come into a symbiosis of intention with the earth, and we can make it better. So everybody, I hope you have enjoyed, Melissa. I have enjoyed learning about what the heck a Green Witch was. This is cool. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for letting me talk about my favorite things.
Of course. And everybody, I want you to hang in there for the next podcast, where we're going to bring Melissa back, and we're going to have an extended special Halloween edition of not only how to ghost hunt, but how we actually ghost hunted at our Haunted Bridger experience. And I will be playing actual snippets from video that we had, and you will hear a ghostly voice on electronic voice phenomenon. So are you up for coming back for that?
Yes. That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we're going to kill it. It's Halloween. We're going to kill it. Melissa, thank you again.
Thank you.
Everybody, you hang in there. Go explore your spiritual witchy powers. And I will see you next podcast.